Welcome to the latest edition of SkyPages, where we bring you the finest in private aviation, luxury investments, and elite lifestyles. In this special investment edition, we take you inside Miami's booming real estate, high-flying aviation industry, and exclusive luxury markets. Let's explore the highlights. The future of private aviation. Welcome to your ultimate private flight experience. This edition showcases the latest trends from elite charters to high-end ownership solutions. If time is your most valuable asset, flying private is the ultimate investment.
Go for landing. 3,000 feet. You're looking great. 2,000 feet. Up we go. Altitude 1,600. 47 degrees. Roger. Okay, engine stop. Houston, The Eagle has landed.
There he is.
My goodness. I got to meet George.
Wow. You look good.
Well, I haven't seen that one for a while.
You must get sick of seeing that picture. Now, where are you in this?
Well, I hope we're up there.
Yeah, right there? That's
Yeah.
it. What you guys were able to accomplish. You know, how many, 12 men have stepped on the moon, something like that, ever in the whole history of time?
24 went there, and half of us got a chance to
Just
walk on the moon.
step
Yeah.
on the moon. And you can't find anything else that has a
No, I know.
category.
What were you doing when we first landed?
No, I was at home watching television.
Yeah.
With my mother and father and my sister. And we had a rinky-dink telescope that we bought. So I was 8 years old. And we looked through the telescope, and I explained to my parents that I could see you guys walking on the moon at that point, which of course was
You'd have to
impossible.
have a pretty good telescope.
It'd be a good telescope. But I tried, I think I convinced them. I'm pretty sure I convinced them. Everything was about the space program. We ate space food sticks, and we drank Tang, and our whole lives was, everything was about the possibility of the imagination, and that the world was, anything was possible.
Well, it brought the world together.
Brought the world together. I heard some funny stories. I heard you were first person to urinate in space.
Yeah, somebody always has to test something ahead of time.
Right. I just noticed you have a metal bow tie. That's a very, you out bow tied us all.
Unobtainium.
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 I like
Yeah,
that.
very
Yeah,
rare.
very hard to get. It's really hard to get. And what is this medal?
It's a Presidential
That is.
Medal of Freedom.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think I saw it put on you.
Yeah.
It's a good looking one. So this is the first one that you guys were just wearing just on your own before NASA decided they wanted to develop it. And then apparently these are the two that actually went up into space. My father, my uncle, everybody had Omegas because of the
course they
space
did,
program.
yeah.
It was a big part of it. Come on, Buzz, let's go in. So apparently we're going to watch a little film here. I think it's going to have a lot to do with landing on the moon.
Think I've seen this before?
Yeah, but yeah. Do you often wear a tux when you watch movies?
Tuxedo?
Yeah. I usually go formal whenever I go to watch a movie. There you are.
I hadn't learned how to swim yet.
Now look into space. To the moon. We choose to
Yeah,
go
this is, we do these things not because they're easy, but because they're hard.
but because they are hard.
Well, he was the first man in orbit, right?
In orbit, yes. But I met him in Korea. He
You
was a
did?
captain, I was a second lieutenant, yeah.
Oh, you're kidding.
Occasionally we're a little skeptical.
Yeah, you look a little skeptical there. You look like you said, yeah, we get in that and fly that to the moon.
This is an unusual experience.
This would be fun.
It's underwater.
I would like the underwater, but getting up on a rocket and going up into space, that's a whole other. That's a great shot, isn't it? That's what we all felt like.
Now, I
Overhead.
was installing this bar to go there so that I could use it to go up front.
That must have been something when you opened that hatch. There's your first selfie. That's fantastic. Boy, that view must have been something.
There's the watch.
This was the watch that went.
When you're on the moon, it's always good to know what time it is in Houston, Texas.
always good.
See the way a camera is attached on the front?
Yeah.
So Neil had the camera most of the time so he could use his hands.
Maybe need a drink at that point.
Having a couple of drinks before.
Not so bad.
And we had liquid cooled underwear.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah.
I could use some of that right now. Look at this. This is the amazing shot. Look at that.
Gonna get loud.
It's just unbelievable.
You see it go by the tower. That's the dangerous part. Is if that rocket flips.
Look at that.
Winding his camera.
Yeah, exactly. That shows you the age. I'm telling you, you look at that, you can't imagine that that went there and came back. It's just amazing.
You see my hand saluting? Good looking flag, huh?
That's a good looking flag.
Real proud moment.
This is what I remember as a kid. This is what we saw at home on our black and white Zenith TV was just the little black and white images. There's the rover. We all wanted one of those. You know, we all thought we'd be going to the moon within 10 years. We thought we'd all be traveling around the moon all the time. How about that? Pretty amazing accomplishment if you think of where we were that century and where we started with a horse and carriage, and by literally 70 years in, we had a man on the moon.
Well, my mother was born the year the Wright brothers flew.
Really?
Yeah. Marion Moon was her name.
Really? What would you say to people when they say, why go to Mars?
Because it's there.
Yeah.
When do you retire?
You were going to retire to the bar, you and me. Come on. I'll buy you a drink.
Miami's elite real estate market, a smart investment. Join us as we explore how Novice Development Group is setting a new standard in luxury living. The intersection of luxury, private jets and collectible cars. A look into Miami's elite lifestyle, where high net worth individuals combine their passion for luxury jets and rare automobiles. Discover the convergence of these industries and the exclusive experiences they offer.
Yeah, my name is Fabio Alexander Vasquez. I've been in aviation for close to 30 years, and I've been here at Opelika pretty much since 1994, where the airport now is the second busiest private aviation airport in the United States behind Teterboro. EAS Charter is now a company that not only does aircraft charter, does aircraft sales, and does aircraft management. Now, as far as other investors besides myself, Opelika, South Florida, and what's going on in Miami, I think the investment alone in hangars like this, the most private exclusive race car club for those that collect cars and those that are just very good at racing, along with other investors that have been pouring money into this airport, probably close to $500 million worth of investment. Return on investment depends on the company. So like a charter company like mine, where I've had these jets, I've probably had over 7 aircraft. We have 3 more that we've invested in. We manage airplanes all the way from a Vision Jet SF-50 with a single pilot, single engine, to a G550. And so the investment really for the charter company is providing the power of time. There's a return on investment on time, and time doesn't have a price. So that's one on charter. 2, if someone was to go and invest in an airplane for them, and they wanted to give it to me to manage, well, the return on investment depends on how they're utilizing the airplane. And so now it's the business that he's in. If he's doing it, combination between 60% business and 40% pleasure, 50-50, the priceless investment of you having control of your time with your family, including security, well, then you put it to work. I put it to work, and now we're not just managing it privately, now we're managing it commercially and privately. We maximize and quantify his 2 most important assets, his people and time. So the return on the investment is really in the eyes of the beholder.
I'm Rafael Pons, president of Eurocars USA Inc. I've been in the car business since I was a kid, restoring cars, classic cars in my country, Uruguay. I'm here in United States since 2006. The East Coast of United States have all the auctions, shows. The weather is better to have a classic car out, so all the events is in the East Coast is during this month. Then the market goes to California, to the West Coast. So we have the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. This is one of the biggest events of classic cars in the United States and in the world. And here in the East Coast, it ends in the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance that have all the auctions, RM Sotheby's, Goodings, Mikum, Barrett Jackson, all the big companies are located there. So the business is growing every year, and we have different types of collectors. We have the vintage cars collectors, then the exotic cars collectors. You have to study a lot to see what car is being named a collective car. For example, the Porsche 911, if you see a Porsche 911, it seems that all the cars are the same, but each car is different. For example, this car that I have here is a very special car because it was built by McLaren when McLaren was partnered with Mercedes-Benz in the Formula One, and they built this car in England, not in Germany. So it's a very, very special. It's all carbon fiber. The engine is in a position in the body in the middle of the car. The doors are very, very popular, the wing doors. So more or less is how the business is going here in the United States. The auctions is a very important information that we have. Now we can see in the web pages a company called Bring a Trailer that is leading the market of auctions. It's an online auction. Every day they sold 20, 30 cars a day, and it's growing every year. And this is a very good example of how you can study the price of the car. The most important thing is how the car was built. Study the car. You have to be careful because if you don't study the car, you can make a mistake. How the car was built and how in the future they're going to have a profit with that car.
So as far as private jet investments, how it meets that demographics for Miami, which is a luxury location. Besides my charter company, as I mentioned earlier, the Concourse Club, which is one of the most exclusive race car club memberships you can have, and one of the only ones on a private airport. That's one. Two, you obviously have, like I mentioned, with these private hangars, but we're also the closest to not only Formula One, as I told you with Hard Rock Cafe, we're also the closest to the football games. And also now we have the World Cup coming. So that is, I'm just complimentary to the existing amenities. So what do I provide besides that? What kind of compliments? Well, as I said earlier, it's in the eye of the beholder what that return on the investment is. I just provide educational analysis for that entrepreneur, that family, or that individual, or that Fortune 500 company, and I help them find the best eye as the holder, and as one who has been holding many airplanes or managed airplanes within my 20 to almost 30 years now. It's really interesting because everybody in the United States, they either move here, have a second home here, or continue to make investments. And a lot of those investments are in hangars, airplanes, or businesses like mine.
For me, Miami is an exotic car market, for sure. Vintage cars here are lying in some collections, but most of the market is exotics. The first year of the Glamour, that it was an interesting event. We have the 100 collector club, that this car is part of the 100. And we also have the cavalcade in Aventura. That is also a big event of exotic cars. It's been a pleasure, Fabio, to be here. Thank you very much to hospitality here in your house. It's a nice place, and it was very interesting to talk with you about your aviation investment.
Rafael, forget about my house. My house is not good if we can't make it our house. So mi casa es tu casa, in our hangar.
Gracias.
And so I also wanted to compliment you with what you do with European cars and your collection. And I'm in agreement with you. I think if you're going to do nostalgic and have collectible cars, I think down to the screw, I think that's very complimentary because anybody who has exotic cars has private planes. Now, the one thing I would challenge you with me is to buy antique airplanes. You know, I always wanted to buy Frank Sinatra's Learjet, which I don't know where it is. You know, I was going to buy JFK's 182 or 185, I think it was, and it was auctioned off. I just never got into the collection of airplanes. I bought the airplanes to produce compensation, but never got into collectibles. So maybe you can help me with that.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is mine.
Art and Royalty Investments, the New Age of Wealth. This segment explores the power of creativity as an asset class. Fine wine and fractional ownership, a taste of prestige. Wine investments are gaining popularity among luxury investors. This feature highlights how fractional ownership in vineyards can bring both financial returns and an exclusive lifestyle experience. Aviation Excellence, the journey of Safa Ben El Qaid. A future airline pilot carving her path in Miami's world-class aviation training programs. Her story is one of passion, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence in the skies. Luxury Yachting, the next big investment. Yacht ownership is more than a luxury, it's a strategic investment. Discover how Miami's yachting scene is evolving, from tax-efficient structuring to maximizing financial benefits. From real estate to aviation, luxury cars to exclusive investments, this issue of SkyPages is your gateway to elite living. Stay ahead of the trends, explore new opportunities, and elevate your lifestyle. Thank you for joining us, and see you in the next edition.
Bye.